Hello everyone, I am Tasta and welcome to the Gems of War stream. So today, of course, we got two things going on. One we already covered a little bit earlier, which was the new Mythic. It is about as bad as we thought it was, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You would get it if you wanted to get Blade of Lands upgraded. In pretty much every other situation, you would not get it. Or if you just want to get a Mythic for the guarantee chance that it's a Mythic that you don't own. Or, you know, when you get the drop, it's one that you don't own. But unless it's for those purposes, there is very, very little need to get this current Mythic. It is extremely underwhelming. It's basically Gargantar or Shade of Zorn that is ever so slightly better, but that's such a low bar that it's basically still useless. Means slightly better than those exceedingly awful worst Mythics in the entire game. It's just a slightly less worse Mythic in the entire game. But that's pretty much what this guy is. He's available for next week though. Anyways, aside from that, obviously the stream will be pretty much entirely doing the Bounty Hunter event. So, of course, pretty standard with Bounty Hunter. You just run the triple combo and then just put the thing all the way in last slot or first slot if it's actually useful. This one, I believe, goes in last slot because last I recall, when we peeked at it earlier, it is not that good. Both the two things, not that good. But let's go and buy up our things. Of course, you can do this in one of two ways. Well, technically three, but there's two main ways. One is to buy tier 5 and then use an orb in order to get it maxed. And the other, of course, is just to go all the way to tier 6 in order to get it all the way to Mythic. Also, we seem to have gotten some kind of carrot sets. But we'll do it with this. So right here, you can go and upgrade it and get it to, if we go to upgradable right quick. But right here, if you wanted to, you can go upgrade it, ascend it to Legendary, and then use a blue orb once it's already at Legendary. And you save 400 gems. However, if we want the orb instead, we can simply just spend the 400 gems, which is exactly what we're going to go do. And should be good to go. Alright, and let's go and grab the upgrade now. Of course, 250,000 for full completion of the events. That's how many points we end up needing. And that tier will easily do that much. As far as this troop, doesn't really do anything too interesting. For its traits, of course, has the standard bounty thing, inflicts disease when doing skull damage, and has immune to disease, so nothing really special. And its ability is pretty underwhelming as well. It does deal damage to an enemy, boosted by green, at a really low boost ratio that's going to do almost nothing. And then it diseases them. So it has multiple ways to disease, but that's pretty much all it has. And overall, you're not really going to be casting this thing, you're just going to put it all the way in the back so it doesn't block. And pretty much be good to go. So let's go build up our bounty team. Of course, sticking with what works, which if we just type in bounty, that'll bring up every bounty troop in the game. Easiest way to search for these. So we'll probably go the new Ogress. Well, it's somewhat new. It came in like, what, 2 months ago? But relative to Bounty Hunter, given that's only like once every 6 weeks or so, that's pretty recently. 2 bounties ago. But anyways, we're going to go roll with her, roll with Tagraki. And roll with one other thing. What even is the meta for the one other thing these days? I guess we go for, well, there's quite a few things that can currently fit in the other slot because there's not really a proper other slot yet. The first 2 slots are like flawless. The third, we normally just go another true damage, more often than not. The main 2 that are usable for that are Rift Links and this guy, the Soldier of Wrath. Let's see, what color is the bunny? Oh, it's going to be completely blocked, isn't it? Oh no. We got bunny blocked. I don't think any of the other 2 cover 2 colors, do they? Because red, blue, we're blocked on red. And Rift Links were blocked on red. They're both blocked on red. We do more damage, right? But the other thing is the movement thing. Actually, I think the other one has slightly more damage, but you have like the boost ratio. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it naturally has more damage. But his boost ratio occasionally makes them do more damage, so generally this one's more damage, but it's also 2 higher mana costs. But it also allows us to move them, so let's go with Rift Links. Should be fine. Anyways, that's the team. Pretty standard. Ogress, Tagraki, something, and then Bounty Troop. We still need a good Bounty Troop that will be this new something. But for now, there's a few okay options. Though none of them aren't as good as Ogress and Tagraki. Come on, we got 2 good Bounty Troops. We just need a third one, because then we'll have a perfect Bounty team. Because then it's Ogress, Tagraki, whatever the really good troop becomes, and then Bounty always has to be used, the Bounty Captain. Normally in last slot, so it's out of the way of the actual team. I guess we want brown-red here. Most likely. Oh, we have to minus purple, though. Oh! Hellgates. Ooh. Hellgate made this team a little bit more interesting. We can run Rift Links and still have double brown-red. Interesting. I think this is the first time we actually bothered using Hellgate banner. Pretty sure this is the first time. Because I don't recall me using any team with it yet. But yeah, it's good for Bounty Hunter. Nice. It has a purpose. Because every other banner... This was what I was mentioning earlier, too. I said it, like, really confusingly. But I was like, oh yeah, all the minus purple banners that are like this. Though there were a couple that are similar. But I meant in, like, this kind of situation. Where currently all the ones that do something like this are minus purple. However, you now have one that does minus yellow. So now we don't have to worry about minus purple. So we can actually run Rift Links without minusing its color while still having the good colors. Nice. Okay, anyways, that's the team. That is the team. So I don't think class does anything passively. But just in case, let's do it into brown. Isn't Warden brown? Yes, you are. Okay. Oh, I need it for the mastery, though. Yep, that's good enough. Just in case it does. That's like a 0.01% higher chance to surge on brown if it actually does the mastery. I'm actually not sure if it does if your hero's not in the team. I don't think it does, but you never know. Anyways, that's the team. Let me go get this to you guys. And then we'll go roll with it. Let me go pin it to the chat. Oh yeah, I need to go open an instance of the chat. One moment. Sorry about that. We don't have a Chrome open. To the browser. To the pause.
Welcome to...
No Raid Shadow Legend ad. Raid, stop doing ads on everything. They just will not stop adding on absolutely everything. Their ad budget must be so ridiculously high. Like, they must really rake in a lot if they have that much of an ad budget. Oh, there's my own stream. Let's see. Leave a like. And then we'll go put the thingy on. I normally don't end up doing it. But whenever I'm in the screen, it's like, might as well. What am I looking for? I'm looking for bounty. And then we pin it. There we go. That is what we are running. Yeah, let me go X out of this. Oh, yeah, let me go check that one team you just posted in chat. Yeah, Mythic seems really underwhelming. Put it over top of this. Yeah, that works. Triple wall. Wait. Yeah, that technically works. Yeah. That technically works. That doesn't not work. You'd have to cast Wall of Tentacle 5 times to get the insta-kill, each insta-kill though. But yes, that theoretically would work. That's great. I wouldn't advise doing that, but it would indeed work. But yeah, the tentacles give magic. I think it's like 2 or 3, I forget. But it does indeed give magic, while also giving mana, and loops infinitely. Well, not infinitely, but you know, it keeps casting. It has infinite mana. It doesn't loop infinitely. It ends its turn every time. But you're also getting 3 magic per turn as well from his ability, so yeah, that gives quite a bit of magic. But you're passing so many turns, since you have to cast 5 tentacles just to get a cast. So it's like 6 turns per kill. Anyways, do we need to change anything else? I don't believe so. We should have a 30 times multiplier. We do. Alright, let's get into it. Let's go clear up bounty and get all of our loots. Hopefully get some good major orb drops. One can hope. But anyways, hello everyone. Hello Ricardo. Hello Isabel. Hello Mr. Jesse. Hello Big. Grand. Hello Paul. And hello everyone else. Welcome, 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 welcome. I don't think using the Mythic in PvP was too unfair to it. Iron Gut in PvP is amazing as well. It's not where you normally would use it, but after he gets 1 Devour, he's at 100 Devour rate. He's still going to be very slow. Anything that kills 1 at a time is a very bad option. If the only thing it does is kill. The only reason why Iron Gut is not bad is because he has automatic extra turn. If Iron Gut did not have automatic extra turn, he would almost never be used. It's the automatic extra turn that makes him viable, not the fact he instant kills. Because things like Ferrish Raw and anything that ever has the whole, like, just kill one enemy and that's it kind of concept, they're normally bad due to AoE and multi-kill options being quicker. Iron Gut's one of those rare exceptions where killing one at a time is good, just because it has auto extra turn. Which if this Mythic had, like, if it had automatic extra turn on kill, and maybe got some of its mana back, it could be good. There's so many things that could have made this Mythic good if they made its on-kill option better. Like gain all of its mana back, or extra turn with some gem spawn, or even just some gem spawn and hope it lands extra turn. But it doesn't do any of that. It just summons a useless troop that generally isn't going to do anything. Because if you need instant kill for factions, it's normally quicker to go Mang if you have literally no options, or only kill one at a time options. Because once you cast Mang, you can one-shot, and then you can multi-one-shot by doing skull spam with your Mang. Which is the easiest way to build an instant kill team for factions. And anything that does it one at a time based on casting is just much slower. Not to mention you would need the Mythic and other things to synergize with it. Which makes it much more expensive, whereas Mang is free. Very free. That's also why I mentioned the Delve-related one as well. Since you can utilize both aspects while you're waiting for his magic to build. But in something like a faction, he's normally going to start with like, what, 80, 70? Well, it really depends on your bonuses. What do we go for here? I really wish they would have gave him like a gem spawn or something on death. I mean, on kill, I mean. Like, that would have made him. Like, if he could feed his mana back to himself on a kill and then potentially still have extra turn. What do we go for here? Did you get your direct message with the link? Oh, the thing on Discord? Yeah. Thank you for that. Oh wait, that's enough to kill, isn't it? I forgot, we're at a low enough level range, it's actually enough to go. We're good to go. Up to like 8 or 9, I think we can normally one-shot. Beyond that point, it unfortunately does not. Kill the Valraven before it runs away. I don't think physical damage is enough. No, we finally reached a point it doesn't one-shot. Our true damage still one-shots, but not our ability on the useless new troop. Well, we gotta use it for bounty bonus, otherwise we will be missing out on a lot of bounty points. Since bounty captain gives double, we'd only have a 24 times multiplier if we were not using the bounty captain, which is substantially lower than 30 times. Zukov normally doesn't backfire in Bounty Hunter. If you're using Hero with barrier on Brown, you get freeze. So unless they have immune to freeze while also taking the skull, which very few things in faction does, they would only be able to hit once, and if they can only hit once, they're hitting on barrier. Unless they happen to just randomly cascade a skull. It's very rare though. But if they randomly double cascade a skull or have a mean to freeze are the only two instances Zoogoff normally backfires. Because more often than not, you perpetually maintain barrier on first slot when using a Zoogoff team. They already use Iron Gut in first slot, which is a bit riskier, but once he gets his Devourer, he's very sturdy. That's normally only applicable if you are starting with barrier, like if you're progressing in a faction, because you need that barrier in order to not die on him. Since obviously he doesn't initially have any way to barrier like Hero does. Oh no, your dog attacked another dog. That's not good. Hopefully they're both okay. Have I been doing pretty good? Yeah, I'm much more of a cat person than a dog person. Dogs are too aggressive.
Mana surge. Mana surge.
What do we want here? We'll take a brown for now. It's the kill. Also, our true damage is almost not enough to insta-kill soon. Which, of course, is to be expected, but let's slow it down slightly when we reach that point. So why did I take that mana? That was a very useless mana. Oh, you have stealthy, don't you? Should probably do this one first. Well, then again, it both still kills. Either way is enough damage. Also, hello, Logic Slayer! Welcome. Pretty much every bounty is a really easy bounty. Unless this final battle's a much easier one. Find out when we get the... Yeah, sometimes the final battle's ultra annoying. Lately, they haven't been as bad, though. Been getting pretty lucky. I'm not sure if they're randomly determined or what, but the last several have been really easy, like the final battle. Sometimes we've gotten some absurdly annoying ones. I think the most notorious annoying one we've ever gotten was double Glaceon. That one double Glaceon time. That was by far the most annoying bounty we have ever had. It was like a Glaceon in first slot and a Glaceon in third with like 2 other troops. I forget what the rest of the team was. But it was basically a pure Glaceon team. And if they cast even once, you pretty much lose a troop. I don't think we had either the good score reduction bounty troops by then either. Which are, of course, Ogress and Turtle were the 2 really good ones. Normally Ogress these days. Ogress is absolutely insane. I'm actually surprised this is a bounty troop. It's basically a mythic marked as a legend. I mean, marked as a rare that acts like a legend. Because it's the only troop in the entire game to have this trait, which theoretically makes it a legendary or mythic trait, at least in the sense that it's the only thing that has it, and it's actually not that bad at all. There would be a lot of instances where summoning a Fortress Gate on death would be bad. However, Bounty Hunter is literally the only location where that is not the case. Which is exactly where you use her, which is rather convenient. Quite literally the only time when that wouldn't really be that bad at all. Fortress Gate's a pretty interesting troop, even though you would never actually use it on your team. If I'm not mistaken, it has the highest durability of any troop in the entire game, while also having Impervious, which is a rather interesting combination. That doesn't mean it's the hardest to kill, but it has the highest HP plus armor combination of any troop in the game. Oh no, that didn't kill, even with Takraki. And combining that with Impervious is decent. Let's see. Actually, which way should we go for it? Hello, Nightmare! Welcome. But a new Mythic's a lot more like a Iron Gut that doesn't have anything that makes Iron Gut good. It doesn't gain any stats on kill, and it doesn't have auto extra turn. It's basically a magic version of Iron Gut without the things that make Iron Gut actually worth using compared to insta-kill. Or other insta-kills. Because there's a lot of insta-kills that technically work. But they're slower because they don't have board control. And while extra turn is technically not board control, it does allow you to go straight into a board control option without dropping your turn. Same reason why Zugop's normally used, because it doesn't drop your turn normally. And if it does, you're frozen, so they only drops one turn. And they can't multi-turn. It's definitely obviously better than the other two, though. But ever so minimally. I'll go for that. I still would advise not getting this Mythic. Unless you're doing it solely for Blighted Lands upgrade. If you're looking for an early game build for factions, it's better just to hold out for Iron Gut or build into Mang. I keep forgetting that drags the last slot. I always make some weird plays sometimes, forgetting that it does that. I've done a lot of weird things with that before. Also, I think it's such a low armor relative to its high HP that it actually will not die to Takaraki. Which is very unfortunate. No, I'm going to do this just to break a barrier. Come on, team. Get full mana. You're almost there. I said, hello, Stradium's Cats. Hello, Nightmare. Welcome, welcome. Hope all has been well. If you have the resources to get it, you should always get it. Like, if your key stacks are, like, multiple mythics wide, you should always get the new mythic. Like, there's not a single situation where you would not get the new mythic if you have, like, the capability of getting multiple mythics with your current amount of keys. But that's more so for people later in the game. Generally, when I say it's not worth getting, I mean that in the sense of people who have more limited resources. But yeah, if you have enough keys right now to get like 3+ mythics out of those keys, you should probably be getting every mythic that ever comes out. If you have that many keys. Because that likely means you're about at the point, or at the point where you have infinite keys, essentially. Not literally infinite, but you know, enough to, if you only use them for new mythics, always have enough to get new mythic. If you're at that point in the game. As I keep wanting to Takaraki that. That better not be in the final battle. Because it's a really low armor relative to its HP. Which is obviously very bad for Takaraki. Also, I always love Bounty Hunter because it gets to say Takaraki like 100 times. Such a fun word to say. I'm not sure why, but Takaraki and Merilith I have a lot of fun saying. I'm not sure why. They're the only two names in this entire game that are actively fun to say. I'll kill that out. There we go. What do we need here? This guy's just going to enchant off the next turn, so we don't even need to bother going for it directly. There's one nice thing about Rift Links that you can do. I'm not sure if the final battle is going to have a yellow. But if the final battle does have a yellow, one thing that you can do with Rift Links is drag the Valraven to last slot, and then it will be blocked on yellow. Hopefully it'll be something like a Druid there or something. Probably will be. Bounty question, Gempour. Do you run a team with new troops anyways at Epic? Or run a different bounty team with less bonus? you can just run it for free if you really wanted to, depending on what point in the game you're in. Bounty gives a lot of resources for free. The way that you run it for free is you don't even deal with the bounty captain, and you simply run 4 troops that are bounty related that are ideally decent, like Kaki and such, and Ogress, that all have Mythic. Because if you're running 4 bounty troops that are all Mythic, you're still getting a 24 times multiplier, even if you bought nothing into the event. And you can still reach a pretty late stage. I think you reach like stage 13, 14, without spending a single gem. Like, you get a lot of loot from this event if you spend nothing into it. Only reason we normally go for it is even you can. It's actually a weird event too, because if you spend into it, you can actually lose resources trying to go for all rewards, because sometimes the major orbs are really unlucky. But the main reason why Bounty Hunter is bought up normally is specifically for the 2 major orbs, especially now, even more so than ever, because now they have a 1% chance to be powers as of last December. So I think this is like the 3rd bounty where we have a chance of getting power. Actually, didn't we get a power off it last bounty? Isn't that when we got our 2nd power orb? I can't recall if it was from bounty or not. Pretty sure it was. If not directly from bounty, it was definitely bounty week. I'm pretty sure last bounty we got a power. Obviously that's very unlikely, but it's 2 1%. Also, I have a blue orb right now in my shop offer. I normally don't go for it. 70 or 700 gems for a blue orb's pretty pricey. If it was 500, I would probably get it every single time. But 700's a little too high. And I've never gotten it a single time, even though we've seen it probably like 5+ times. Unless I was really desperate just to get a few more, in which case I would go for it. But a blue orb is worth only around like 400, 500 gems or so, as far as how much direct saving you can get from it. And actually, one of the biggest savings that you can get from it is normally during Bounty Hunter, from buying tier 5 and then using a blue. I think that's still enough battles to get the event done while also getting the troop maxed. I haven't done that for the last several though, but I have done it quite a bit in the past. The main reason I haven't lately is as Troopy keeps getting higher and higher, gems technically keep becoming increasingly easier to get. And given that we now have Doom troops coming in ever so often, it's now a bit more priority to save those resources. Yeah, I've gotten it twice so far. I actually got really above drop rate. Realistically, based on how many major orbs you would get within a year, you're generally only going to get 1 power orb per year from a major orb. We have gotten lucky and gotten 2 so far already, and it's not even halfway through the year yet. But on average, it's only going to be about 1 per year. Because on average, every month gives about, I believe, 4 major orbs, somewhere around there. Though of course, not every single month is equally consistent in how many orbs it gives, but I believe it's about 4 per month. Actually, a little bit more than 4 per month. It's actually closer to 5 per month, isn't it? Because I forgot World Lore event would give it every single week, other than that other event. But even that other event gives it. So never mind, it actually is closer to 5 per month. I'm not sure if I've ever done the exact math on it. If you broke it down for 365 days in the current state of the game. It's somewhere around 70 orbs. Give or take 10. Probably higher if it's going in any direction. You get about 70 major orbs per year if you did just the bare minimum of all full completion of every event, including bounty. But if you fully completed every event with no leaderboard, it's about 70 or slightly higher per year. Somewhere around there. And of course, each one of those have a 1% chance. Oh no, our HP has been hit. Also, I just realized I'm not using I'm using magic right now. I guess that's fine. I think I'm using 20% to magic. I guess that's fine. I was gonna say we're not using extra HP durability for the thing, like with seasons. It's not really that big a deal to do it. It's better for us to have that little bit of extra magic damage. Yes, we have way too much playtime in this game. Let's see, how are we almost at like 13,000 hours? We are. Within the next week or two, probably 2 weeks, because we don't play as much these days. But yeah, we're almost at 13,000 hours just on this one singular account, specifically on PC. It's not even counting mobile either. Oh, interesting. This final battle's a little weird. It's not as easy as I was expecting it to be. It's not hard, but the weird things are he has Entangle as well as a lot of skull mitigation, which means we'll have to Takaraki it. We basically have no skulls. We also don't have any yellow, which means Valraven can escape if we're not careful. It's not as easy as a final battle as I was expecting, but it's not hard. There's nothing that's going to kill us. The bigger concern with this team is it slowing us down, as well as Valraven escaping, which would be the absolute worst thing that could happen, obviously. That's a super big concern. You gotta be kidding me. 1 HP. I'll need to go damage test every single thing on this team. Let me do that right now, actually. Because if they're all going to survive with barely any HP, we might need to switch our metal. But yeah, that one barely did not die. So now what I need to test is, will this one die? So you need to make sure not to poke it. I know your morning's been tough. Hope everything went well. If you aren't going over leaderboard, could you just do battle 19 over and over again for the yellow troop? Yes, though you generally just go for whatever the final one is because you lose so many points. That's basically like losing a battle every X amount of battles that you do on a not 20. But if you want to, yes, if you're not caring about leaderboard at all. But if you're not caring about leaderboard at all, you also technically don't need the Valraven in that sense. Because if you bought tier 6, you could lose like 4 Valravens and probably still be good. For tier 5, I think you can only lose like 1 or 2. I think maybe 2 max. But obviously for tier 6, you have a bit more leeway. Oh, I forgot to test this thing because I was talking and not paying attention. I wanted to test Takaraki to see if it would kill. If it's in with 4 damage range, we might need to go drop 50% or 20% mana start and get 4 magic instead. Because 4 magic will be enough to one-shot second slot. But if it's also enough to one-shot third, then we should probably get it. Oh, so let's see the difference between Valraven as well. Will this one-shot it? Okay, we gotta go magic. It has been decided. Because that will allow us to one-shot Valraven and also allow us to one-shot this. And I'll go test to see if we can one-shot that. I don't think it'll one-shot that, and it definitely won't one-shot his first slot. But it will be enough to one-shot Valraven, and it'll be enough to one-shot second slot. We won't have enough for 4th either. But it'll get second slot and Valraven down. Which are decently important. Also, why am I poking that? I should have poked... I guess it doesn't actually matter. This one stealthy is going to be annoying. Because it makes us have to completely kill out Farce Troll before we could do anything. Which is not normally how we'd want to play this. Alright, let's see if this one-shots. Or, more importantly, does it get into 4 damage range? It does not. It's rather unfortunate. I still think it's worth it to go for the magic, though. It'll make our start ever so slightly slower, but it saves us from having to cast an entire time. Possibly twice if Valraven appears on not second. So let me go change that. Going to 12 magic instead of 20% to 8. And now that allows us to one-shot Valraven, also allows us to one-shot second slot. So even if there's no Valraven, we're still getting value from it. But obviously, it's more so for the Valraven. Interesting. So if that's the case, that means we need 3 more magic before Valraven can actually kill things. Oh, wait. We do have 4 magic right now from the thingy, though. So technically, we need 7 magic. I forgot. Because we actually have a 4 magic bonus from Season Pass right now. Which we normally wouldn't have necessarily every bounty. But in 7 more magic, we would guarantee be able to kill the Valraven every time in one shot. With Takaraki. Probably should have taken that skull. That should be enough to kill. Super dead. 20 gems. Grab our green. Get our Takaraki. And that's why we got the extra magic. That was exactly why I got the magic, and that as well. See how much quicker that is? Yeah, it's definitely worth going for the extra magic if you're within kill range. Only 4 magic would be enough to kill both, though. Which requires almost every magic in the game except for 1. Let's kill that first. It does more damage this way. It's still not enough to kill, but it's more damage. Just in case we want to go down the physical damage route. Which we will. Only if a skull fell, and it did. Yeah, we're 1/3 the way there. Though technically almost half, because the second half goes a lot quicker than the first half. Due to you getting so many less points during the first half. Even though the battles go quicker, you're also getting substantially less points. Whereas by the time you hit the second half, you're getting the full amount. Actually, should that be the strategy we go for? I didn't think of that. But use Rift as soon as we can on first slot. Kill out the other one. And then the Entangles in first. Or not the Entangle, I mean the Stealthies in first. Which means we won't get entangled. Because that makes it so we don't have to deal with the Stealthy, because we can deal with the Stealthy with Skulls and hit it directly. I need to start doing that then. Though that's dependent on us having the mana for both. Which we might not necessarily always have. Now it dies to Explosion. And now we just need the last little bit of mana to kill Farstrel. Good old annoying Farstrel. Too bad we don't have anything really good that uses green. Like, we do it for mana accumulation, but none of our damage is doing green. We want to try that again, see if we can actually get it down. Because it seems like the easiest way to deal with this battle. Ref links the Farstrel, then insta-kill the second slot, which is now first slot. And now the Stealthy's in first, unguarded. We're gonna need to start doing that every battle then. Seems like the easiest way to take on this bounty. If we could actually get a good board. Because now all of our explosion damage hit directly on the Stealthy, as well as any skulls we take. Which basically means we don't have to deal with Stealthy now. It's like, it's not even there. Also, when we get a stunned, we literally don't have to deal with Stealthy. That is also true. That's funny. I almost forgot about this. I almost keep forgetting it has a stun, because it's already so good with everything that it does. Because they added a Mythic to Bounty Hunter for whatever reason. I always find it funny when really low rarity stuff is better than Mythics. Like, this is better than half the mythics in the game, Ogress. And it's a rare. That's one thing I do slightly hate about Puzzle Quest 3. Like, in Gems of War, if you get low rarity stuff, there's some low rarity stuff that's just absurdly good, which is nice. Whereas in something like Puzzle Quest 3 in their new game, it is always more beneficial to be more upgraded than not more upgraded. Whereas things at lower rarities can still be good in this game. Like, really good. Like, better than Mythic's good. I'll throw that down. I guess you still need to ascend them, though. But there are quite a few things where the ascension doesn't really make too big a deal. Like, most Empower troops that do, like, a convert or something. Like, those, while you do ascend them, they theoretically could be unascended, and they're perfectly fine. Same as Leprechaun. Like, something like Leprechaun's an insanely good troop that is not dependent on being upgraded to actually be good. It needs to be fully traded, but it everything else doesn't need. Like, it at Ultra Rare compared to Mythic is basically the same troop. Still waiting on the nerfed Bone Rings. They already nerfed Bone Ring. They did that last night. Or was it 2 nights ago? I'm losing track of time. Let's see. I'll take that over. Also, why is Valraven only spawning in last slot? Yeah, this game has a surprisingly high number of really good low rarity troops. Like, most games won't do that, but Gems of War has a really high amount of good low rarity troops. The only issue is all the good damage, or almost all the good damage, with a few exceptions like Rowan and a few others, are almost all mythics or legends. But as far as like good board control, mana accumulation, and other stuff like that, there's a lot of really good low rarity stuff for it. That's why I normally advise getting damage sources for your initial mythics and not going for things like Possessed King and anything else like that. Mostly because you already have 1.5 billion mana accumulation options that are good off of low rarity. Whereas most of the good damage sources are rarity locked. Oh, there are a few exceptions, but there's a lot more exceptions for good low mana, low rarity mana accumulators than there are for low rarity damage. Hello, analysts. Welcome. You spent 30,000 glory. Oh gosh. Oh wait, never mind. Glory. I thought you said glory keys. I was gonna say 30,000 glory keys is a lot. 30,000 glory isn't as bad though. That's math. What's 30,000 divided by 20? I can't do that in my head. I think it's 600. I think I did math right. But that's not too bad then. That's actually really good. Wait, I say 600. I meant 6,000. Wait, no. Let me just get a calculator. I'll let you know if that's good. Yeah, that's 6,000. I was right. Let me do the math though. Oops, that's not math. No, it's 1,500. Wait, what? Math. Brain. 30,000 glory. Divided by 20. Stop trying to do it in head. 1,500. Yeah, that's really good. It normally takes about 10,000 glory keys to get a mythic. You got in like 1/10 that many. Apparently I can't do math this morning. But yeah, that's really good to get in that view. I need 3 to legendary to get a star. And you still have over 1 million glory left. Yeah, trying to get off of random drops probably wouldn't be too good of an idea. I'm not sure when Bladed Lands next has a event. Because it won't be that targetable until you get event key for it again. Though, if you just need any legends or to be upgraded, if you haven't done the faction one yet, Blade of Lands faction legend could work to get that maxed, if you haven't already. Why is Ogress better than Warwolf? Because it accumulates all mana. It also has, then again, they both have a decent chance of extra turning. It's also a lot tankier. But it's used primarily for the all mana accumulation. Because it feeds back into itself as well. Like you saw, we just cast it, but also still have full mana. Whereas Warwolf, while it can feed some mana back to itself, it's normally nowhere near enough to be full mana. And while Ogress doesn't always give itself full mana back, it has a much higher chance of doing so compared to Warwolf. Why'd I do that? It was actually more damage to have Tagraki'd that and then done the other one on him. Too bad we're not allowed to use multiple of the same bounties. Because you know if we could, our team would be like just straight Tagraki. It would just be something that creates red with 3 Tagrakis. Though don't do that because you actually don't get any bounty points for when you repeat a bounty troop. Which is why some of the bounty teams seem a little bit weird sometimes. Because obviously double Tagraki would be stronger than single Tagraki here. However, you don't get any points for doing that. Which is why it's not done. Also, how's Ogress only 1 mana short? Such an annoying amount of mana to be short of. We're at basically the halfway point. We're almost there. Once we reach the second to last reward, we'll hand out code. And then we'll finish out bounty. If anyone else has any questions, do let me know. Make sure to go over it all. These are pretty much just doing bounty the whole time. At least for the morning stream. Tonight we'll be doing Guild Wars and all that. All the normal stuffs. What do we want here? Probably just Tagraki that. Bring them both into kill range. Stop being 1 mana short. Too bad this thing doesn't have some mana accumulation on it. Always annoying when we get a useless bounty troop. Because then it's basically like we're doing a 3 versus 4 rather than a 4 versus 4. Since we essentially have 1 whole less troop on our team. How important is the class for the function of this team? It doesn't do anything because you can't use hero class. The only thing that it might do is maybe give a little bit of mastery. But even if it does this late in the game, it's like 0.01% higher chance of surge. I put it into brown just in case, but there's really no need to. I'm not even sure if it does do that if your hero's not in team. It's too hard to check this late in the game just because it's nearly 0 difference. Next daytime stream? Yeah, we haven't done a daytime stream for a while. I definitely need to before we go on our trip, because we won't be streaming for a while then. Well, we're definitely going to be streaming Season 5 of Fall Guys whenever that comes around. Of course, it's almost Season 5 of Gems of War. Fall Guys 1, I believe, is a little bit later in a couple weeks. I believe it is before my trip, unless they delay it between now and then. Not the trip, but the patch. But we'll definitely do it for that. As far as other things, I'm not sure. We definitely need to before we go, though. Hello, Medieval. Is Lynx better option than Corpse Mirror or other true damage? I'm mostly doing it for the... then again. Yeah, Corpse Mirror might actually be better right now. Because the reason I was initially using Rifts was to move the Valraven behind the yellow. There is no yellow in the final battle, though. So the reason I was using it as we were progressing through the battles is now irrelevant. But yeah, Corpse Mirror would be the next best one. Only problem with Corpse Mirror is it doesn't get to target, but it gets a lot more value from its ability. Like a lot more value. I need to double check the next run that we do. See how useful targeting actually is. We are using it some to target, but normally our first poke is on getting Forest Troll to the back. Because that's what we're currently using it for now. Is to move Forest Troll to back so we don't get entangled. Which allows us to set up into hitting their entangle. But if we just had Corpse Mirror, we could just power through it. I don't know, they would both work. Neither of them are incorrect. They serve a different function. Oh, why did I do that? Now we're not going to be able to kill. You know what? I'm actually going to deliberately pass my turn. Otherwise, I might damage it too much to not one-shot it. Which we don't want, of course. Feels weird being able to target stealthy, but it's because of stun. I was gonna say that should have killed. It did. Yeah, it can be really hard to get specific copies of Legends and Mythic sometimes when trying for the random drop tables. Even with event keys, it can be annoying. Just because some places are starting to get like 4 or 5 Legends now. Which means hitting the specific Legend that you want to get upgraded is increasingly harder. And of course, as we're getting 2 and 3 Mythics for some kingdoms, especially once we start hitting 3s, it also becomes really hard to get the specific one. I suggested to them a while back to have a way to target back before we had 2 Mythics of any of them. Like the option to be able to choose which Mythic we get. They unfortunately said no. But I did try getting into the game. But no, they didn't. They did not. Because at one point in the game, you theoretically had a 100% chance of getting the correct Mythic via event keys, because of course there was only 1 Mythic for every kingdom. But then obviously as 2 came in, that became not possible. Also, it's almost code time. Oops, I did not mean to go all the way out. I always forget that it's the same menu. I always like go to one of these and then I click back, thinking like, oh, it'll go back to the previous screen I was just on. But it goes all the way out since these are on the same menu. Okay, as soon as we hit reward number 19, we'll go and hand out code. Hello, Robert. Hello, Ice. Welcome. Yes, Warwolf would work. We're using Ogress just because it feeds a little bit better into itself. But either would work. Since if you're feeding into 2 reds anyways, it works out. Please let me cast. I tried clicking her like 3 times. Just would not let me.
Mana surge.
Hello, Roberto! Welcome, welcome. You made it in time for the code, which we'll hand out in a few minutes. Probably about 3 or 4 more battles whenever we hit reward 19. We'll probably claim them all at the end, all at once. And hopefully we'll get some powers, because we might be getting a new boss rarity troop at the end of next season. That'll probably be a while before we get another one after that. Though if I'm not mistaken, there are 2 of them coming. When we were checking earlier, it looked like there was 2 coming at the end of next season, which I highly doubt is actually the case. It might be this one mythic or one boss troop that has 2 forms, because we don't know what its ability is yet. So it likely switches between the 2 forms, most likely. Which means it's one Doom troop, but it has 2 forms, essentially, switching back and forth. That hasn't been confirmed yet. We will know next patch what it does, most likely. As soon as next patch hits. Because then we'll be able to see much deeper into files, or further time-wise. But based on how it is, it seems like it's one Doom troop, but 2 forms. In the sense that, not like in Rage Karandera and Karandera, but in the sense of like Warwolf, where it just goes back and forth. It seems like it's going to have the Lycanthropy gem effect with it switching back and forth between 2 different troops, only one of which would likely be player-owned. When is next patch coming? Very likely next Tuesday, no official date. But next Tuesday around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, pretty much when we do our stream, is the most likely time for and day for next patch. It is yet to be confirmed, but is exceedingly likely to be next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It definitely has to come out before next campaign. So it's either next Tuesday or the following Tuesday. It can't not be either of those 2. But next Tuesday's the more likely one. The one next week. But it quite literally has to be one or the other, because next patch, or next season, requires the patch to occur beforehand. We don't always get one before next season, but the mechanics that they're adding requires it. Because we're getting those power skull things. And several things in next season have that power skull mechanic. Or heroic gems, I think is their proper term. What was the other question? Raksha? I always say Rashka. The Raksha is probably how you're supposed to say it. I always say Rashka though. Same as how we always say Karakarov instead of Karakov. As well as Silver Necropolis instead of Necropolis. When does this season end? At the end of next week. We have like 9 days of it left, or 10, depending on how you count it. We have today, tomorrow, Sunday, and then all that next week. And then after that, it's over. And then we'll have 1 week of Tower of Doom, and then we have Season 5. How many tiers have we bought? 6. 5 and 6 tend to be the stopping locations normally. 5 with a blue orb or 6 with no blue orb. Lately we've been doing 6 with no blue orb because of boss rarity troops starting to be added at a somewhat regular basis now. So now we really need those blues. Not so badly that we'll spend 700 gems on it, but badly enough that we still need them. Because doing it through bounty basically makes us buy a blue gem or blue orb for 400 gems, in a sense. So that's kind of worth it compared to 700. Anyways, did we hit enough points yet? I believe we have. So let me go hand out a code, and then we'll go finish out the final stretch. As soon as we hit that 250,000, let's go hand out the code now. All right, code time, and then we'll wait and open all the orbs at the end. See if we get anything shiny. Also, I'll hand out another code if and only if we get a power orb. If we actually manage to get a power orb, I'll hand out another code when we open all the orbs. This will likely be the only one. Also, I'm running low on codes. Kafka never got back to me. Though she did post some patch notes for Puzzle Quest the other day. She must be busy with Puzzle Quests. Very busy. Which makes sense, the game needs so much work. Put that there, put that there, put that there, copy the whole thing, and here it goes. Go. There is the redeem code used on gemsofwar.com beneath the game code section. Your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over here is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code is right over there in chat. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters starting with BY. And give the same word as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. I'm not sure why I said that for the souls. The souls are like the least relevant thing. Actually, technically the maps are. Oh no. Depends how many maps you have. Because technically 60 glory is better than 200 souls, which is how much glory those maps are worth if you were to go mass buy them. Obviously the gem key is the main thing. Anyways, you don't use one PC mobile version of the game. Alright, let's go finish bounty. Nope, I almost just clicked that. Stop doing all your pop-ups. Where were we? Go in here. Anything else we need to tweak? I don't believe so. Duh, it's bounty. We don't need to change anything. Catch you later, Medieval. Thanks for stopping by. And no problem for the code, everyone. If anyone still has any other questions, do let me know. It is quite a bit easier to answer them during Bounty Hunter than it is to do it during Guild Wars, since Guild Wars is very intense. I just regened into an extra skull poke. That's funny. Or not a skull poke, but you know what I mean. The explosion. Oh, that might be enough to kill. Oh good, it didn't go for the right one. Though even if it did, that still wouldn't have been enough either. How on earth is that thing still alive? Did I get vaccinated? I got the first shot, didn't get the second shot yet though. I was hesitant on it. Still kind of am in a sense, but I'm getting it mostly for traveling. Because I'm seeing some friends in a month, and I'm probably seeing some family in 3 months. Yeah, I think the earliest I even could have gotten it was like 1 week before I even did. So I technically didn't hesitate that much. Because my age brackets couldn't get it till the age thing was lifted.
Mana surge. Mana surge.
Oh, you're going on a road trip. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Mana surge.
I haven't done that for ages. Used to quite a bit with my dad. Last time we did something like that was like 5 years ago. In a while.
Mana surge. Mana surge. Mana surge. Mana surge. Mana surge. Mana surge.
What troop do you mean with Veno? Venoxia?
Mana surge.
Venoxia does 4 times kill. But it takes quite a few casts, but it does loop into itself. Though not as infinitely as Truffle.
Surge.
But quicker than Truffle in the sense that it's doing true damage instead of physical. Hello, Undertaker! Welcome.
Mana surge.
Gosh, why is this board so bad?
Mana surge. Mana surge.
All he needs is a little bit of mana.
Surge. Mana surge. Mana surge.
I normally run Zugoff because of how quick its max speed is. Its average speed is really good as well. But it has really insane max speed, especially with Skyla. I personally don't do the Skyla method because it's a little bit less consistent per hour. But it has some really absurd speed when it gets everything going well. But I normally use the Thrall build of it because it's more consistent. Even though it reduces its max speed. But it makes its speed per hour quicker. Yeah, Ogress is a lot of fun. It's a great addition to Bounty Hunter. I was talking about it earlier. It's basically a mythic that they added to Bounty. It even has a unique trait that literally no other troop even has, which is the I've Got a Door, where it summons the Dwarven Gate. I mean the Fortress Gate.
Mana surge.
It's basically a legend or a mythic as a rare. In every possible sense, because it even has a unique trait, at least currently. There will be other stuff that will eventually get that trait. As it currently stands, it is the only one that has it.
Mana surge.
That didn't damage it too much. I think it did. We'll find out when Tagraki doesn't one-shot it. Yep. Oh, never mind. I gain HP from the other thing as well.
Mana surge.
What did I use my initial Tagraki on?
Mana surge.
Or did we just not have an initial Tagraki? We should have. Otherwise he would have been enchanted still. Oh, there might have been a Valrave in this battle. I was going to say, because we normally want to hit that other thing first. But a Valraven would have made us target differently.
Mana surge. Mana surge.
Have I seen any recent movies? No. I haven't watched any movies since the pandemic. Mostly because I prefer watching them in theaters, and obviously I have not been going to theaters for the very obvious reason. Though I might soon. Though I'm not sure if there's really anything good coming out soon. Yeah, I wonder how much the, I never even really paid much attention to that, but I wonder how bad the movie industry got hit. In the sense that a lot of theaters probably had to close. They already are, have pretty tight margins. Since they mostly make money from concessions. I know one already closed by me. A really close one as well, which is annoying. I'm pretty sure the one in the mall is still there, though. The one in the mall has really good seats. I'll take that over. Why do I use gem keys for the mythics instead of guild keys? In case they ever add more guild troops to the game. That is why. It is very unlikely. However, we currently have the normal 6, then we got epic ones. And in case they ever add legendary or mythic ones, in a sense. You know, because we have normal tasks, and then epic tasks, and then legendary tasks. However, we don't have mythic tasks yet. So if they ever add mythic tasks, they might add 3 more guardians to the game. And if they add 3 more guardians to the game, they will require seals, keys. And if they require seal keys, you'll need seal keys to go get them. And already having seal keys makes it so that won't be an issue. That probably won't happen for like another year or a couple years, but it's not impossible. It's already happened once. It's a lot less likely to happen though, because mythic tasks might give too many resources. But if they ever did, mythic tasks would probably have a lot of really good endgame resources. If they ever were to exist, they'd probably have deeds. They'd probably have tokens. They'd probably have whatever other billion new currencies they make in the next upcoming years that are actually become viable. Those don't currently exist and likely aren't anytime soon, if ever. But that's mostly why I saved them. Because you definitely don't want to have 0 seals for whenever that happens. While it's not likely to happen anytime soon, if even ever, it can happen and has already happened once before. I did that in a really weird order, cast-wise, because that made it so I couldn't really take Skull there for value. Now I can, but before I could. What do we go for here? Take that for now. Give us the mana already. There we go. Skulls works. I say, hello, Golo, welcome. Alright, final stretch. We're almost there. What is that? 5 more? Let's see, we get 6,000 each. 5. Yep, 5 more. And then we're done with bounty. Because we're not bothering with leaderboard. Actually, that's not true. We're not done with bounty. We are trying for leaderboard. Because I believe tier 6 is enough to make leaderboard for an orb and 75 gems. So, actually I lied. We are going for leaderboard. Though we'll do the rest of the battles later. We're just doing all reward battles now. But actually we'll do it. Because lately, tier 6, flawless tier 6 is enough to make leaderboard lately. Because very few people bother spending the extra 200 gems. Normally several dozen, but normally it's not over 100 people. As long as it's less than 100 people, we can make leaderboard with tier 6. as long as we don't lose a single Vow Raven and get max points every single battle, which would require us using 4 bounty troops at 30 times multiplier, which of course is what we're doing. Yeah, Bounty Hunter, we've been getting a bit quicker at Bounty Hunter. I'm not sure if we're just getting better at automatically running it, or because Ogress speeded up, or what. But, yeah, lately, I think it might be Ogress. Ogress definitely helps out a lot. But, lately, Bounty Hunter has been taking under 2 hours to complete. Not sure what our quickest is, but we got it done in almost an hour last time. But I believe last time's Bounty Troop wasn't completely useless like this one. I don't think we've casted him a single time. Actually, that's not true. We actually have casted him multiple times. Oops, did I just change the thingy? I think I did. Whoops. Oh, no, I didn't. I just moved it. Never mind. Also, I was, before I started recording earlier, I was looking at the frame, and it's like, something looks off. And I checked the resolution. It was literally 1 single pixel off. It was 1 pixel too big. I'm not sure why, but every single time it's like, oh yeah, like it's just ever so slightly off, and it bothers me to no end whenever it's like that. Not sure how I notice that's 1 pixel off. But we play this game so much that the window being 1 single pixel off is actually noticeable to me most of the time. I wish they had a lock resolution option, though. They had something that almost somewhat did that in the past, but didn't really work correctly, and eventually just they stopped even doing it. But there's currently no way to like lock the frame on PC. I think you can with like a third-party program, but there's no way to just do it automatically with the game. Though in all fairness, I think all Steam games are like that, unless you use like a third-party thing for it. Or if you have it in Windows mode, you could still drag the sides of the frame, which is always annoying because more often than not, you're doing it accidentally, not deliberately. You wish they would add faster speeds for Puzzle Quest 3? Yes. It does currently only have 1 speed. I'm pretty sure they have it like that currently because of farming purposes. They want to balance current speed before they bother adding any higher speeds. Because obviously we know what happened in Gems of War when they had it at higher speeds. You could farm everything at a higher rate, and they had to balance the entire game's economy around it because it just increased the speed at which you could win by so much. And they're probably not at the point where they want to balance something like that because they need to work on so many other things with the game. Alright, last 2 battles. Or at least for leaderboard, anyways. You just found a new Mythic in Seal Key, 6,000. Nice. Congratulations. Really nice. The enemy troops go so slow. Yeah, some of them do. Also, one really weird thing about that game, there's 15 different weapons, but every single weapon has a different animation. And some of the animations take longer than other animations. They're not all the same amount of time. So it's actually slower to use some weapons. Though in all fairness, Gems of War is somewhat like that too. If you're using a weapon that has any of those final perks, especially if they do any amount of board control, it technically goes slightly slower than one that doesn't. But it's really funny because the actual animation of some of them take longer. And for that reason, some weapons are just naturally slower. Not because of any stats or anything, but just because the actual animation of the weapon playing out is longer or shorter than other weapons. I'm not sure which one has the shortest animation. I should probably find that out, though you would need to own every weapon and test it to know for sure. Let's see, we'll take that down. You just found a new mythic twice. Nice. Unfortunately, having multiple of it's not too useful. It's one of multiple mythics that, a good majority of mythics, that unfortunately don't really gain much of a benefit after gaining another. Normally, once you get a mythic during the week of the exclusive key drop table, you generally stop just to make sure you don't accidentally get another. Unless the mythic's good to have another of. But his current mythic, unfortunately, is not one of them. That's the case for like 90% of mythics been in the game. Very few of them are actually worth having more of. Not sure why I did it that way. Oh, it's enough to kill regardless, so kind of doesn't matter. Come on, get full mana. Ideally, double full mana. I don't think that will matter as long as we have the one. Because we can poke it with the other thing for the kill. Better be enough damage. No, why? Oh, we can kill with explosion. But there we go. It has been done. Okay, moment of truth. What will we get for orbs? We got, what is it, 4 smalls and 2 majors, I believe it is. Combined with all the other loot. But if we get a power, we'll hand out a code. But yeah, any other questions, let me know, guys. Because we'll probably call it a wrap as soon as we open these orbs. And of course, Bounty Hunter, as far as all the loots, if you go all the way, gives the following. 2 Vault Keys, 110 gems, 17 gem keys, 45 diamonds, 5,600 souls, 175,000 gold, a bunch of useless trade stones, 2 major orbs, which is probably the main reason why you do it, 10 arcanes, 4 normal orbs, and 4 celestial, a title, and the portrait. With the main loots being the Vault Keys, the gems, the gem keys, the small orbs, and the really big majors. And the 4 celestials not bad if you still need them. It's actually a pretty decent amount of them. Though of course we don't need them. They're just as useless as all these other trade stones to us. Anyways, let's see what we get. First 3. We got a single purple. So far, not the greatest. Come on, blue, purple power. Right here. No! Triple grade! Ooh, that's some awful loot. Actually, did we even positively make out on loot? We need to go use our 2 Vault Keys. Hold up, we need to go use 2 Vault Keys real quick. We might have hit our... this isn't the first time, if this does happen. But it is actually possible to do the entirety of Bounty Hunter and lose gem value. It's very rare, but it is possible. Yeah, that's some really bad drops. Let's see if we lost value. I think this would be the 2nd or 3rd bounty we ever lost value from completing it. It's still worth it for the orb chances, though, just because how valuable a major blue, a major purple, and a power are. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my rogue spider. Where's my rogue spider? There it is. I was called rogue spider. It's called night spider. Same difference. It's a troop used for the team. Alright, let's go kill them all out. See what we get from our 2 Vault Keys. Hopefully something that will make up for our bad loot. Otherwise, I think we lost value on bounty. Wouldn't be the first time, nor the last. Kind of unfortunate that it can happen, though. Yep, nothing good there. Oh, give it one last try. This is our other Vault Key. I think we lost value this bounty. Because since you only get bounty troops and not actual random troop drops, you don't even get any mythic value there. The only place you get value is from the loots, where a good majority of it's in the orbs and the Vault Keys. Because in a normal event, let's say like a world event, you get value in the tokens constantly. You get value in the random troop drops, because all those random troop drops can be mythics. Whereas in Bounty Hunter, it's 0% chance since you're only getting bounty troops. There's no chance you can get a mythic out of it. Because whenever a mythic is within any drop table, even when it's through an event, it technically has gem value. Because the mythic has gem value. Yep, and then we got a Cedric! There it is! Our first bounty in a while, where we actually lost loot from completing it. Not much loot, though. But if you get absolutely nothing from the orbs and nothing from the keys, which is pretty much what happened since all we got was a small purple, I believe you lose about 500 or 600 gems. Though we lost slightly less because of the purple orb. But yeah, we lost probably about 500 gems. Though, who knows? If we get a blue orb from leaderboard, we theoretically still broke even. If we do all of our battles later, get on leaderboard, and get a blue from this random orb, that is technically break even. Though anything that's not a blue orb from that is not break even. We lost loot. Let's see. Do you want to try to team with the new Mythic and Emperor? I don't know. Do you have one? We can go try it real quick before we end. I don't feel like it's going to be viable, though, because you're blocking the troop initially. And then you'd basically require Mistralis at that point. How many Cedrics do we have? Too many. Let me go check. It's like 40 or something. 57. We have 57 Cedrics. I think we have like 4 or 5 Harder Rages. Yeah, we have 4 Harder Rage. And we have 57 Cedrics. Yeah, and we got a star on Pansvale. Also, I can get 21 star on Blade of Lands. We're blocked on the challenges. Should probably go do these challenges real quick. It's only one set. Let me go do it right now. I'm looking for Phoenicia, I guess. Yeah, let me go run this before we end. Where's Phoenicia? Oh, there we go. Yeah, we'll go check the new Mythic and Faction. Someone was suggesting we try it in Faction. And I actually haven't tried it in Faction yet, so we'll see how it goes. It's still going to have all the same issues that every insta-kill in Faction has, though. That doesn't have any border control or extra turn. In the sense that killing one at a time is very slow. At least if the troop has no follow-up. The biggest issue with the most current Mythic is his on-death effect is really bad. If it was good, he'd be viable. But it's not good, so he's not viable. But yeah, his on-death effect is horrifically bad. It just summons a useless troop you would never actually want on your team. And it only does it if it gets a kill. That was auto extra turn, or gain all or most of its mana back, or gain a bunch of magic, or literally anything else. It'd be quite a bit better. So I'll clear through this, and then we'll go mess with the Mythic. Theoretically, I didn't actually show the Mythic to stream, did I? In a team. We showed the video, obviously we just did. But this actual stream I have not. So it'll give us a chance to go use it at least once, if nothing else. Also, a Glory Gnome, it's not even a Vault event. Although it's around the corner, not this weekend. Well, obviously, it already is this weekend. But next weekend, in 1 week from today, is a Vault event. So if you have free time next weekend, great time to be farming. Best time to be farming ever. Since you'll be able to get a lot of loot from the Vault event. Highly advise farming it up if you have the time. As you get pretty much more loot during that than the entirety of every other time combined. Than all the time in between. Not counting like what you get from guild, but just the infinite farming that you could do from battles. You pretty much get more gem value from the Vault event than you do from everything else combined. And there we go, 21 star. And by everything else combined, I mean the on-battle loot. Because theoretically, gold has gem value. Which is the main thing that you would get when you're like infinite farming other stuff, as well as glory. But it's relatively low relative to the rate of which you get it at. Compared to Vault events where you get a lot of gem value very quickly. Anyways, let me go test the thing in a faction real quick. Alright, we'll grab this team. And then we'll go Mistralis. Emperor. Also, why does it feel like every viable faction team can be ran here. What else do we need? A new Mythic, obviously. And what else? Maybe Hero with Corsair? Who's our tank, though? We don't really have a proper tank. I could always use Hero as our tank. But then we have to use, like, Titan or something. I'm probably just going to Titan tank it. I might even go Mountain. But then again, the other thing benefits from... You know, I'm going to go Jar of Eyes. Because the other thing benefits from how many blues are on the board. Oh, wait. But we're not going to be tanking anyways. Let's go Corsair. Oh, so why am I doing it under banners? Let's go Corsair. Because this could be really risky, though. But we'll do it. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. And now we just need a supporting weapon in second slot. Because we kind of need the other guy to be in first to use Emperor on it if we're going to go for the Emperor build. That's kind of the whole point, is to use Emperor to get stats for Archduke. I almost want to do Dawnbringer, but it's blocked on everything. And I don't want to block Mistralis on everything. Because that would give it barrier, of course. Could just Jar of Eyes. I think we still go the Jar of Eye route for the Blue Storm. It also has Resummon on it, which I feel like we're going to need. So the team will still function even once Archduke dies. Let's see. What's the second color we need here? I'm leaning towards blue-green. Just to get Jar of Eyes up a bit since it got nerfed. Got a minus red. Are we not using a color? We're not using purple. Isn't there a +2 banner with purple minus? There is not. I could go green-blue, though. No, I can't. Never mind. I can go double green-red, though. Okay, let's go blue-green, I guess. That or just go double blue. Let's go double blue at this point. Alright, let's roll this. So now we have +5 blue. Let's see what happens here. Also, I'm set to 12 magic, so that's fine. He has 73 magic, 76. That is not enough to insta-kill instantly. Which is already bad. Unless I need an extra turn, otherwise Mistralis is nothing for us. Come on, Mistralis. The whole point is for you to get an extra turn to get us rolling. This team is extremely dependent on that. There we go. Okay, we have a 88% chances we'll auto-kill anything we touch. And it's still gonna miss now. Luckily, I got it there. And then the Emperor gets to do his thing. Oh, it seems like we're already gonna have enough magic by this point. That Emperor isn't really too relevant. Oh, we hit extra turn on him. We had 70% chance and actually landed it. Well, it doesn't not function. Though there's really no need to use a team like this. Gosh, we're hitting every extra turn with him. Oh, that was 100% chance. I wonder why. We had 105% chance. Yeah, if you're doing it in faction, it seems like Emperor's not that needed. Though it technically gives it a bit of durability. Outside of faction, it could maybe be a little bit better for it, but that's just so slow. It's so slow. Because the best you can do is kill one at a time. Which makes it similar to Fair Shra and other things. At least Fair Shra starts slower, but it can loop a bit once it gets going. Because you can sometimes get the double kill rolling. Labushka, welcome. But anyways, does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, I think we will call it a wrap for now. And then later tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, what is that, 6.5 hours from now, I'll be doing the Guild War color for today, which I believe is brown. Do our Guild War battles, do a bit more Bounty Hunter, maybe mess with the Mythic a bit more. What else do we still have to do? Maybe Ward Event? We'll double check. Oh, also, you sent me a message. Let me go check. I actually haven't been on Discord all day, so let me go check. One moment. Because it's related to the stream. So it might be something related to the guilds. We'll find out in a second. But any other questions, anyone, let me know. Otherwise, we'll be back later tonight, as we do every night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have another code then. Also, while I'm here, I should probably check to see if Kafka... Oh, it is guild related. I'll still go read it now. Not allowed, though, of course. Let's see. Discord got updated. Did the... Oh, that. Yeah, that is, it is something that has been happening a lot more. People not doing all the amount of points because we have people going for leaderboard. I've been guilty of it somewhat too sometimes. Just because it's already so high. Though I still keep doing my battles as we need it. Like right now, the problem is if anyone's like below our score right now, that's a problem. Like everyone below us right now. Cookie! No, never mind, you're tied. Never mind. But like everyone like right here. Actually, that's not too bad. Like that's just losing a Valraven on accident. That might have been multiple. But yeah, that's a problem. The 0-0 there. But anyone exactly tied here or above is fine. Because this was up to yesterday flawless. Is where that is point-wise. And he's probably just lost a Valraven. But yeah, the 2-0s are definitely problems when they happen like that. If they consistently keep doing stuff like that. But anyways, guys, I'm going to head out for now. Thank you all so much for stopping by. And we'll be back in about 6 hours from now, as I mentioned earlier. Oh, wait, sorry, one other question. Do you get bonus points for using Pox here? Yes. There's double the bounty for when you do it in Bounty Hunter. So the bounty team is has to use it because it counts for double the amount of points. The bounty captain always counts for double. It mentions it in the screen over here, I believe. But double the multiplier on this week's event for the Pox here. Whatever the bounty captain is, says double. But anyways, guys, we'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your weekend. Best of luck with trying to get the new Mythic if you're going to be doing so for Glory Gem Guild and VIP Chest. It's a pretty bad Mythic, but it's still a Mythic nonetheless. And it's for a Magic-based kingdom, so that's somewhat decent. It can be ran a little bit for the insta-kill, though compared to other options, I personally would advise just waiting for the Iron Gut or use Mang or anything else if you want to go down that route. It can theoretically be used for insta-kill and Delves. However, unless you have absolutely no other option, you wouldn't really go down that route. Though we did mention a team for it, that one Mang team with the insta-kill thing earlier. We did it in the video thingy. There's this one over here. The really low rarity one. Because that can be ran in factions pretty decently. And then you just replace out Draconian Monk depending on color restriction. But it would work for any blue related faction. But anyways, guys, we'll catch you later. Goodbye, everyone!